Question 1. Miss Frisby is classified in this way because it fulfills about 5 of the 6 motifs. There is magic to the degree that the animals can speak, and the science that transformed the rats seems otherworldly. There is a secondary world that Miss Frisby enters through the Rose Bush, the sophisticated rat colony. The Thorn Valley could also be seen as a future other world. The good versus evil of the plot presents itself in a few ways. The rats escaping Nim, the rats and animals helping Miss Frisby's family from the plow, and between the lines story of Jenner's desertion eventually leading Nim to the farmland. Heroism is very present because Miss Frisby does remarkable things to save her family and completes the hero's journey, while Justin and even Jeremy display bravery. I'd also say that the advanced species of rat fulfills the special character type motif, as they explain there aren't truly rats anymore, but something else. The last motif, fantastic object, is only present in the movie. For the second question, I absolutely agree with this more than the last classification. The novel is innately gothic horror. Think Castle of Otranto, imposing setting where the environment is the literal antagonist. The garden starts damp and wet, making Timothy sick. The impending summer brings the true embodiment of the terror, the plow, which Timothy cannot escape. Finally, the seemingly omnipresent Nim, a lurking unknown danger. All of these are seemingly unstoppable villains, overwhelming odds against a tiny mouse heroine. Miss Frisby is innocent. She doesn't know about her husband's life or the rats, but she bravely faces these realizations to save her family. The rats are scientifically altered, even scarier than magic because it could realistically happen. The friendship with the rats also fulfills the social taboo because rats are seen as vile and low to humans. For these reasons, the novel was more gothic in nature than the fantastical movie. The third question, I would say the most important character in this book for me is the one not present, Jonathan. Without Jonathan, the rats wouldn't have likely escaped from Nim, setting the whole course of the story. He is the connection between the owl, the rats, and his wife, a connection which alone can save Timothy. His reputation and friendship with the rats leads to their kindness toward Mrs. Frisby. The third question, I don't really think the rats sufficiently repaid their debt to the Frisby family. I remember while reading thinking, why doesn't the Frisby family just move in with the rats, travel with them to the Thorn Valley, or live in the Rosebush? Obviously, by the end, we find out that the Rosebush was not a permanent option, but I think Miss Frisby could have found better means. In the end, though, maybe they would have felt strange, just like Mr. Ages and Jonathan. The rats, though, were kind and not selfish. They didn't help other animals for fear of discovery. If everyone knew about them and their technology, the hubbub at the Rosebush would surely give them away. Traveling with too many animals to the Thorn Valley would also draw attention. This is why they never told Mrs. Frisby. However, I do think that they should have been included once the plan was put into action. Without her husband, Jonathan, the plan likely would fail, and 5 more mice wouldn't have hurt the pack. I do believe the last rat was Justin, because the author has Mr. Ages describe him as very brave for going back to save the other rat. The accolade that Justin received throughout was his bravery. I doubt we know for sure because the rats would have had a hard time in Thorn Valley without Justin. The author wants that uneasiness for their future on the daring attempt toward rat civilization. I bet that the children will be successful in finding the rats in Thorn Valley. Their intelligence from their father, the connection with the birds now, and the promise of a better life would likely drive them to attempt and succeed. I don't think Mrs. Frisby wants to find the rats, but I doubt she would stop her children once they were old enough. She probably understood that Jonathan and Mr. Ages didn't stay with the rats for a reason. The author ends the story basically in the greener grass. The family is content and safe for the time being. There is resolve, yet mystery for the unknown. I bet the rats would come back eventually to the farmland if their venture in the Thorn Valley is successful, particularly if Justin is alive. He would want to regather the supplies from the cave they sealed and make sure the attempt to save Jonathan's family was successful. Thank you for listening to my discussion post this week, and I'll see you guys next week.